today's going to be a pretty good day because we get to combine torture with evolution. But then again, they're basically the same thing. So we're going to start in the amateur league and see how badly we can break this. To begin, we have $0 and 0 skills. However, we can fix this because this is in fact a running duck. So running is going to be what we're going to focus on. Well, they say running, but it's more like jumping, but you get the idea. Either way, it's going to be a bad day for this little duck. And we crashed right as we hit 5 miles an hour because my face was itchy. But the speed does increase the further we go, so I am curious to see just how fast we can make this idiot run. And then it's tricky because sometimes the duck holds still when he lands, but sometimes he starts jumping forward and you don't really know when that's going to happen. And that makes it very hard to time things. But a few half-hearted tries later, I'm already run level 18. I'm not sure where that maxes out, but we're going to find out. But good news, I've determined how the auto run thing works as I crash into the ball. It's if your duck falls back to this part of the screen, he has to run because he'll go out of frame if he doesn't. And believe me, if I lose track of this duck, if he gets off the screen, I am not bringing him back. So I've already hit level 50 and I can't learn any more from this training game. But joke's on it, I can't learn anything at all. But while we're at it, let's feed him some pink seeds and see how much he likes those. And then even some yellow ones, because we're gonna need energy to win the races. I'm generally not one for feeding my animals, but when they can make me some money, it's probably worth it for me in the long run. So let's see if our idiot is ready for an amateur race yet. He's only good at running, everything else he's absolutely horrible at. So I feel like he's going to be the first one to the water, then probably struggle a little bit. Yep, look at him go. He's like a rocket. And he drowned. Wonder if he has life insurance. Do I get some money for like the body? Okay, so swimming training looks like that. This one you have a little more control. You can go up, down, and even side to side, so I can screw up in even more ways than ever before. I should probably mostly just focus on getting lots of money because my duck seems to do not great without energy. But he also just doesn't do great in general, being that I'm in control of him. We are cruising up to a modest 23 miles per hour so far, so that's not bad. 28 miles per hour, we're picking up speed. I wonder if it just endlessly gets faster and faster because that could be a lot of fun. We've officially broke 30. 32 even, and we tried to go under an iceberg. And after forcing this idiot duck to swim for 100 miles, we're now at level 50. He still isn't drowned, but we did make 78 coins. Which kind of made me wonder, what exactly are these seeds? This isn't training, this is just buying him stuff that he puts into his body. And I'm perfectly okay with that. If I could train less and just do more steroids, well that's just easier. I just need to find a way to make lots of coins. Our energy should be over 20 by the time we feed him the yellow stuff. And then with 2 skills at level 50 plus 21 energy, is that going to be enough? Who knows? Is he gonna drown? Who cares? And he's pulling away from the competition very quickly. The finish line is right there. We used up about half of our energy to get there. Congratulations, you won. Now go win all the other races. Well, just give me the money and I certainly will. Are we up to the task of race 2? It looks like we're gonna start with flying, but we do get a few steps in first, and I'm very good at stepping, thanks to my forced abuse of this duck. But he also flies kind of like a rock. But if he touches the ground first, he might actually win. Nope. It would be great if we didn't have to train all of his skills, because that's a lot of skills to work with. But let's see what flying's all about, because as we learned before, you can basically just fly him into the wall again and again, and it's still successful. So maybe we can work on every skill except climbing. He doesn't have to be a good climber if he's really good at everything else. So here's what I'm gonna do for flying. I'm gonna let him fly each and every time, just like this. Eventually, he's either going to hit the water or a wall, at which point, everything's going to restart naturally because I have an auto clicker, so I don't even have to be here for this part. He's going to train himself. And if he manages to collect a coin or two along the way, even better. And here we go, after flying my duck into the wall a few more times, level 50. We didn't make a lot of money, but we did make enough to get him just a little bit more steroids. And that brings his energy up to 26, so let's see if we can win the next race. And given that it's largely flying and a little bit of running, I think we're going to kill this one. Safe to say we won that one. So what's the final then? Probably just a combination of the two, so we don't need climbing yet. Those idiots stand no chance. I'm a performance enhanced duck. There is, however, a little bit of climbing, but I think he's so good at everything else that it's not gonna matter. At least I hope it doesn't, because I've already got the climbing out of the way and now I can continue to pull way ahead of them. I ran out of energy. I thought I passed the finish line. I was right there. The duck needs more steroids. I think the fastest way to earn money is going to be flying. Mostly because you can go very quickly and eat a bunch of coins in a big hurry. And there's another 56 coins, so that means we could buy 3.5 purples. That will hopefully push his energy up to where we need it. It's now 35, which means he should actually cross the finish line. We made it with about 20% of our energy left. Still didn't get a monetary reward for that, but we can move on to the finals. So as long as my idiot doesn't have to climb anything, I think we're going to have a pretty healthy win. Still, those other ducks are not as bad as I thought. But when it comes to raw foot speed, nothing compares to my duck. He's gonna climb anyway just to show off his skills. Wouldn't mind some money for some of these. I need to buy more performance enhancers for my idiot. This one's making me nervous because it starts with a climb. I'm probably faster than them everywhere else, but maybe not by enough to make up for this little gap. Though I am gaining on them and we do get to fly, but by then it's too late. So yeah, unfortunately, we're gonna have to teach this idiot how to climb. And that simply means jumping back and forth collecting coins, or maybe just ramming his head into the roof until he levels up. Yeah, this is fun and all, but it's a lot easier to just use my auto clicker to do all the work, and then I can just buy him all the steroids he wants. I don't know how long it's gonna take to hit level 50 like this, but I don't care. As long as I can get away with doing very little work, I'm happy. And my very lazy strategy has yielded me level 50 climbing and 1 coin. So we're gonna spend our vast fortune on seeds. And then we can finally win race 2. That's some better climbing. Now we can way outrun the other ducks, and this will be an easy win. As I suspected, not even close. And that just leaves the finals, which hopefully has a monetary reward. But I'm definitely the fastest duck of this bunch, so I'm going to get to the top of the hill first. He's not necessarily a natural flyer, that's probably because he smashed into so many walls, but it's still good enough to stay ahead. And if he didn't want to hit so many walls, he shouldn't have let me fly him. This one's even going to involve a bit of swimming. Look at that energy, I had like 10% left by the end. Need more steroids. And our idiot's evolving. Finally. He has legs now. He has 1 leg. He's a head on a leg. That means he could enter the advanced league. New training facilities. That's all I need to know. Maximum level of 100. So here we go again. I'm pretty much just going to do this again and again. And he falls over. Hopefully he can get hurt. Despite this 1 enormous leg he has, he still doesn't jump any higher. Alright, well, back to my lazy strategy to level this idiot up. You know, it's kind of curious. When I use the auto clicker, he doesn't actually touch the ground. I'm pretty sure he can jump right over top of other things. So that's kind of interesting. He's definitely jumped on top of some of the other balls and not died from them. And coins. Oh, well, this is actually a very unfair advantage. I didn't realize this would happen, but I am pleasantly surprised. I just have a natural talent for ruining things. That one was actually doing so well, I made it all the way to the front of the screen, just hopping over everything, like the conqueror that I am. And our strange and lazy strategy got us to level 100 very quickly and gave us 37 more coins, which means another few batches of steroids. And we're obviously going to need a lot more thanks to all this added mass. And it looks like we now get fired out of a cannon instead. To start it, we've got to navigate through narrow buildings. Which course we're not going to do. We're just going to fly into the buildings because it's easier. And also a lot more amusing because I'd really rather just be lazy. There's flying level 100 and some pretty major brain damage. Plus we have an even $15 to spend on steroids again. And that brings us to swimming, which we should be able to do pretty well now thanks to these big long legs of ours. I still feel like that would be pretty awkward swimming, but that just makes it all the better. I just realized that I made 0 coins that entire time and I made it to level 100. There are no performance enhancers for idiot. So that just leaves our new climbing, which is pretty much the same as old climbing, just with a different skin. And it is no doubt a little bit more challenging than before, but that's not going to make a difference because I am just going to use my auto clicker to do all the work for me. It's just so much easier when you don't have to care about your duck. That was fast. 1 coin collected, 35 total coins, level 100. All I had to do was run that duck into the wall 1,000 times. Not sure if he's going to have had enough energy to get through these races, but he will certainly have the skills because look at those legs. And the other ducks maybe haven't evolved in the same way as me, but to be fair, they probably have considerably less brain damage than my idiot. But look at those legs work. They can stand no chance against me, and yeah, I clearly have more than enough energy. Struggled a little bit getting out of the pool, but don't we all? So far, he's making all of these races look incredibly easy. He's just gonna hop his way straight to the finish line. Look how quick he climbs now. Gotta be all in the legs. But that's maybe because my duck is basically made out of legs. There's more leg than duck, and that's an easy victory. That's the qualifiers. And now for the finals, but I can understand why the other ducks can't look up. Look at their legs in comparison. They're literally made out of lines. And my duck is just pure leg. And there's the finish line. We didn't win by as much as I would have liked, but that's okay because look how good my duck looks. In the final race, the other ones are actually doing not bad, but this is the final race, so they gotta have learned a little bit along the way. No matter what, this should be an easy win for my duck, and he's gonna finish with about half his energy left also. But we're still gonna spend every cent we have giving him extra steroids. And he's evolving again. Hopefully I get more legs. Oh, we grew arms. What do we need arms for? Well, longer tracks, max level 150, new training facilities. I don't want arms though. Well, at least the training happens a little bit faster. They even took us into the jungle for some reason. This is kind of odd, but I think this is easier than the first 2 stages because nothing is coming towards me really. I'm moving towards it, and it makes it a lot easier. I might not even have to use the auto clicker on this one. I could probably get to level 150 just on a single run. We're up to 33 miles an hour. I didn't mean to clip that. We got 15 levels there though. I was doing so good until I started talking. Alright, well, I had a good run, but I'm gonna let the auto clicker take it from here. You think if anything, this would be better training because that's gotta be hard on the legs. If you can jump that much for a few hours on end, you got a pretty strong leg. And strangely enough, the auto clicker actually works very well for this. He's literally just hopping over everything he finds, so he might actually just go endlessly. Okay, and at this point, the auto clicker is officially better than I am because we're up to 35 miles per hour and he's still going strong. Okay, never mind. It took us to 37 miles per hour, but that's still pretty impressive considering I didn't have to do anything. And just imagine what his brain is going through right now. After being smashed into a wall repeatedly for the past hour, now it's jumping up and down repeatedly and getting sloshed around in that big old bucket of his. And this way he's also collecting pretty much every coin on the map. And we've got 150 total coins now, and we hit level 150, so that all works out very well. So lots of steroids for him, he earned it, and that's probably also going to do wonderful things for his brain. Alright, let's see if we can run flying next. Flying here obviously starts at very high speed, and if you actually go straight down the middle, it seems like at least at first you avoid absolutely everything until you start running out of speed, but then we'll crash him into the ocean because there's 7 levels and I did literally nothing. But we're going to stick to what we know best, and that's basically doing nothing. That time it happened so fast the duck actually got lost under the screen somehow. So that was definitely pretty interesting. I just flung him straight down the middle again just for fun to see how far he would go, and we're up to level 125 already. And I did nothing. Well, that didn't take long at all. Level 150, 42 more coins, which means a little bit more steroids for the good duck. It's not even really a duck anymore though. It's like a man with a duck's head. And swimming has taken an interesting turn. It starts us in a cave where he torpedoes into the ground very quickly without getting much skill at all. So I might actually have to try something here. Unfortunately, it looks like I'm actually going to have to play this one, so I've got to navigate the duck carefully through the cave, and that's going to actually take a little bit of skill. And that kind of sucks for me, because that's one thing that I'm definitely lacking. And the hardest part about this is I can't really slip past obstacles like I can in some of the other ones. If I so much as touch the darkness, I'm out. With a lot of the other ones, you could actually just kind of bounce over obstacles without much effort at all, and that's why my auto clicker could get away with so much. Well, we powered through level 150, got 0 coins collected, but that's okay because I could be done with swimming. Now we're just left with good old-fashioned climbing. He's getting pretty intimate with that wall though, so I'll let him enjoy this one. Well, still smashing him into the roof as many times as I possibly can, but at least he gets some enjoyment out of this. But the best part about this one is I can be lazy again and use my auto clicker. This erotic adventure led us to level 150 and 43 coins, which means a few more steroids, and then I think we're ready to race after spending my final $13 on the cheaper steroids. So let's see how the qualifiers are going to go, and already I like the look of this. It's not a standard race. We've got to fly through the air, and we're very aerodynamic it seems. And considering we have a natural disadvantage to flying, that's a good sign because once we hit the water, those legs propel us to new heights. And I used up like 10% of my energy, so that bodes well. That one was pretty much just a motorboat race, so obviously I'm gonna win. And then we basically fly into the water and motorboat our way to the end, at which point we're pretty much gonna outrun everything because we actually have legs, unlike my stupid competitors. This one's just unstoppable now. He's going past everyone at an alarming rate. But the race isn't done yet, and we've used about 60%, 40% of our energy with 60% left. So that was the qualifiers. If those are any indication, then my duck is going to be the superstar, the ultimate duck, brought to you by evolution and laziness. And so far he is very much leaving the other ducks far behind because he's definitely better at running and swimming. So as soon as it involves any of those, he gets all the room he needs. This one's called the cliff, so I assume there's going to be a lot of climbing, but even then he's about as good as the more natural climbers. That one was a little closer than I would have liked. Luckily the final race should incorporate everything, so that's less climbing and more of the stuff he's good at. Usually the final race is like a 1v1. There's my old duck. We gave him brain damage too. He didn't get legs though. So far the other ducks are keeping up. That one's kind of jacked. He also has legs, but they're not as long as mine. That's where the running comes in. I got that good stride. And that looks like another victory for us. An otherworldly portal has appeared. I wonder where it goes. Do we get to re-evolve? The layer of the ultimate racer. As you travel, you feel yourself evolve. I is now a supreme duck. Right. I guess we didn't want legs anyway. Now we have fish fins, wings, and a spiky haircut. So just the final race now, I guess. Watch out for his army of Domo-kun. Okay, we gotta click on those as we get to them. Don't worry, duck, you're in good hands. As indicated by my training all day giving you brain damage, I possibly couldn't let any harm get to you. We get to explode things along the way though, that's kind of fun. Can I just use the auto clicker and be lazy one more time? Yeah, there we go. Nothing's gonna get past that auto clicker. Oh, unless there's something up top. At which point, he's boned. Is the auto clicker gonna get that one? Well, yeah, we're gonna have to move it a little bit, but at least I have to do less clicking. I think we're probably gonna win this. It even told me I'm the ultimate duck, so I have full confidence now. Even this poor brain damaged duck can accomplish great things in life, thanks largely to performance enhancing drugs. This is a long race though. I'm glad we didn't have to have any energy for this, because I probably would have ran out ages ago. I just have these little brown weirdos trying to stop me all along the way. And to celebrate my victory, I literally murdered everyone, including my competitor, which is a pretty good way to celebrate. We unlocked the throne room and an arcade and a high score training game. Yeah, we're definitely going to go for a high score, considering I did the absolute laziest way possible. 500,000 coins is nice though. You want $500,000 worth of steroids? Well, that's what we had to work with today. So I guess we'll just take our 500,000 coins and spend them on